Welcome to Islamabad International Airport. Former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif is coming home from exile. Soldiers, police and government agents are sent to intercept him.
Okay, at the moment I've got the hands of about 5 Pakistani policemen pulling me out of the crowd.
Just 4 hours after touching down, Sharif is being silenced. Seven days earlier, we were in London. The upmarket Mayfair district in the heart of the city boasts some of the most costly real estate in the world, owned by some of the world's richest people. And Nawaz Sharif is one of them. I caught up with him outside his plush apartment.
A very pleasant city. I think one of the best cities in the world.
Money isn't a problem for Nawaz Sharif. He comes from a wealthy industrial family.
My children studied here. They came for their higher studies in Britain.
London's also a great deal more comfortable than Saudi Arabia, where he was exiled in 1999 after being ousted by a military coup led by then-General, now President Pervez Musharraf. Time out, it seems, has mellowed a man once renowned as a political bully.
Nobody is an angel. We all make mistakes. So whatever mistakes we have made in the past, there's a lesson to learn.
One of those mistakes may have been signing a deal with this man, the current leader of Pakistan, General Musharraf.
Total 4 different kinds of outlets.
Musharraf claims Sharif promised to stay out of Pakistan for 10 years. But recently the Supreme Court ruled that was unconstitutional and said Sharif was free to return home, infuriating the general. Ever since, he's been courting the Pakistan media, attacking the man who robbed him of power, President Musharraf.
He somehow doesn't believe in the rule of law. He doesn't have any respect for the Constitution. He doesn't show any respect to the law of the land.
In office, Sharif was labelled an autocrat. He was dogged by allegations of corruption and misrule. But from exile, Nawaz Sharif has repackaged himself as a champion of democracy.
I have no personal motives. I have no personal ambitions. My ambition and my motive is only Pakistan, democracy, rule of law.
Well, actually, he was very authoritarian during his government. He was more authoritarian than even the military government.
Commentator and writer Zahid Hussain remembers the old Sharif all too well.
When he was in power, we have all seen that he took confrontation with the judiciary. He basically also arrested journalists. He did try to crack down on the press, and also actually he was ruthless with his own party men.
At 57, political rhetoric isn't all that seems to have changed about Nawaz Sharif. Once grey and nearly bald, he now sports a head of dark hair, a fact that didn't escape one cheeky interviewer.
Exile has done wonders for you. You look thinner and younger than you ever did. I think when you go back to Pakistan, they'll think you're a film star rather than a politician.
Nawaz Sharif has been doing more than the media round in London. He's been courting MPs from General Musharraf's party. Shahzadi Tuwana is defecting to Sharif's party. It's a numbers game for control of Parliament, soon to be asked to rubber stamp Musharraf to another term as president. That's despite polls that show Osama bin Laden is more popular in Pakistan than Musharraf.
It's very premature as yet to say how many people will defect or how many people are thinking about it. Only a few political people who think that they can win their seats with the power of the uniform will stay. The rest will leave.
Shahzadi is being portrayed by the regime as a rat in the ranks.
I don't think it's fair to call anyone traitor or use such strong words because one has to decide what is good for the country now.
What do you think is good for the country right now?
It's always been and it always will be a democratic form of government, and this is the need for our country. This is what is needed now.
At Heathrow, a crush of well-wishers. It's a rowdy farewell, triggering a security panic. The former Prime Minister is booked on 5 different flights to confuse the regime about his arrival time. The drama is reminiscent of 1999, when Sharif refused to allow a plane carrying General Musharraf to land in Karachi, triggering the coup. In a twist, Nawaz Sharif finally boards a government plane, Pakistan International Airlines. It's military run, but the mayhem isn't over. A passenger collapses in the aisle, claiming to be having a heart attack. Takeoff is delayed for more than 1 hour. Once airborne, Nawaz Sharif settles back and prays. Until now, he's been calling the shots. But in 7 hours, someone else will decide his fate.
Well, yes, I don't know what will happen to me when I land at Islamabad. But then more important is that where is my country heading to?
How much are you personally willing to sacrifice in this fight?
Well, if Musharraf wants to send me to the jail and or in the prison, and in return my country gets liberated from dictatorial army rule, it's not a big price.
His calculation is less prosaic than it seems. Political martyrdom, he hopes, will win more attention than he's had in exile. Moments from touchdown, a final ruse. Nawaz Sharif moves to the economy cabin, taking up position in the middle of the aircraft. Everyone on board has just become a human shield.
Please take your seat. Sit down. Sit down anywhere. Sit down, sir. Sit down. Take your seat, sir. Go Musharraf! Go Musharraf! Go Musharraf!
It's feared the plane wouldn't get permission to land. Touching down is the first hurdle, but Sharif smells a trap. He refuses to budge as the aircraft is surrounded.
So a strange situation's developed on board the plane. The aircraft is surrounded by several hundred or so paramilitaries and police toting shotguns and submachine guns. Firstly, there was a dispute on board about passports. They wanted Nawaz Sharif to surrender his passport and they could process him off the plane. He refused. Now there's a dispute about bus transport, and as I speak, there are more police coming on board behind. Are you going to allow Mr. Sharif off the plane?
Yeah, I've come to request him off board.
Is he free to move around?
You are awaited off board. You can see the bus.
90 minutes after landing, Nawaz Sharif finally touches Pakistani soil for the first time in 7 years. In the chaotic arrival hall, the authorities make their move.
I'm here to serve the warrant of arrest to Mr. Mia Mohammad Nawaz Sharif.
With that declaration, government thugs grab Pervez Musharraf's arch-rival. It was a chilling display of brute force. Nawaz Sharif is shoved out a door and taken to a waiting plane, destination Saudi Arabia. The regime insists there was no coercion. This is Information Minister Muhammad Ali Durrani.
When he came here, there were options for him to stay here or to go again.
So the
And he
option
had-
was stay here in jail or go.
Or go. He opted for going there. This
So-
is the reports we received yet.
So the option you gave him was to go to prison or to leave the country?
Yeah, of course.
Back in exile in Saudi Arabia, Sharif is politically isolated.
It seemed that he is prisoner at this point. He is under restriction. I will not say that he is detained formally, but I think he has been restricted from going out of his house, and he will not be allowed to travel abroad, or to, particularly to London, I think, until the elections in Pakistan are over.
I will be going back to Pakistan very soon.
Pakistan's other exiled former Prime Minister is coming back on October the 18th. But it won't be easy for Benazir Bhutto to resume normal political life. There are serious legal obstacles, and the regime won't remove them.
We have no deal with anybody. Ms. Bhutto's party, we are talking to her, but we don't intend to have any deal as such.
Shaukat Aziz was an international investment banker until General Musharraf drafted him to the prime ministership.
There's some problems with her return. She's got corruption cases you could renew. Will they be renewed?
No, I think the cases are still there. There's no question of renewing them. They still exist.
She still has a case to answer.
She has many cases, yeah.
Okay. 2-term limit on prime ministership. She
That
can't run
stays.
for prime minister again.
Correct.
You're not going to give her that?
No, we are not. As I said, there's no deal. So whatever the laws are will stay.
At the moment, the only semblance of opposition to the regime seems to be coming from people inside this building, the Supreme Court. It was these judges who said that Nawaz Sharif could come home, and they may still rule that in banishing him last week, Pervez Musharraf committed a gross contempt of court. At the same time, a far bigger issue is being weighed here, and that's the one about whether it's even legal for Pervez Musharraf to run for president while he's still the armed forces chief. The regime seems desperate to pacify the judges. At the weekend, it was announced that Pervez Musharraf will quit the army once re-elected.
President's position as army chief will stay only till the period he's allowed to under the law.
So you're saying unequivocally that by the end of this year, Pervez Musharraf will not be the head of the armed forces?
I think that's what it means, yeah.
The trouble with that pledge is that Pervez Musharraf has made it before only to renege. If he does go ahead this time, it would be a courageous step. It means surrendering his only real constituency, the military. And as Pakistan's history shows, without that, few leaders can survive.